welcome to the Atrium on your Packer Link Up. Today is Thursday, October 9th, and we're here right now to discuss the Atlanta game, Packers versus Atlanta. I'm going to do just a few short segments today. We're going to do 10 minutes, review the game. I'm going to start with some good news. I'm going to end with some good news, but everything in the middle is going to be about what you expect after our big loss to Atlanta. And then later in the weekend, we will have our preview, the game versus Seattle, and our top 10 list, which I have almost complete. And so I hope you're enjoying that. I'm going to try and bring you another full top 10 keys to success against the Seattle Seahawks in a later episode. But for right now, let's kick it off with some good news. And the only unfortunate part is this is not Packer news, but this is good news. I have no qualms whatsoever about talking about the Dallas Cowboys today, because right now, news is coming across the wire that Adam, I don't want to be called Pac-Man because I've turned over a new leaf, Jones, has been caught fighting with his bodyguard. That's right, fighting with the guy who's supposed to keep him out of trouble, assigned to him by the Dallas Cowboys. And he apparently got into an altercation, I think is the word they're using. There is a police report involved, so something happened, and we'll all just look forward to that playing itself out. Wade Phillips and Jerry Jones have had to spend umpteen hours in front of the press dealing with this issue, and it's just as good a news as we can have in Packerland, I think, today. Pac-Man Jones, once again, in trouble. Say it with me, ladies and gentlemen. Lifetime ban. It's only a matter of time. Well, let's get back to the Pack. I know you want to hear more and more of what you've seen and heard and read all over the internet about the Packers' loss versus Atlanta, 24-27 this past Sunday. I want to start with the injury list. This is what we're looking at, folks, and this is reality. This is not by way of excuse, but I want to go through it quick. Atari Bigby did not practice. Chad Clifton was limited. KGB limited. Corey Hall limited. Al Harris, of course, is out. Colin Jenkins is on IR, is out. AJ Hawk was limited. Jason Hunter did not participate. James Jones did not participate. Craig Lumpkin was limited. Michael Montgomery did not participate. Big Ryan Pickett was limited in practice. A-Rod, of course, limited in practice. Aaron Rouse was limited. And Charles Woodson did not participate. Of course, Charles Woodson, it should be not did not participate. It should be did not need to participate, because that guy just keeps playing like a freak. He's awesome. He's the best player on our defense right now. He may be the best player on our team, which tells you something about careful acquisitions in the free agency pool. Keep that in the back of your mind. I really feel like talking about it later. I don't think I'm going to have time to do so. We're trying to keep these episodes down to about 10 minutes, so you can watch several. If you need to, have about a half an hour, maybe 20 minutes to a half an hour total, but have them broken up into 10 minutes. So I don't know if I'll get to my rant about Ted Thompson on that issue, but careful acquisition in the free agency pool has given the Packers team their best player, in my estimation. Maybe Greg Jennings, who was a draft pick, and goes to my balance of that. I think Ted Thompson is a fantastic judge of talent, but we do need to look for somebody out there who might be a difference maker and a leader, and a guy who can play through the pain, which Aaron Rodgers, to his credit, has shown this week that he is. But we have a large laundry list of injuries, and it's really hampering, I think, what we're trying to do as an organization. But again, that's no excuse. So right now, let's get into it. It's time for the criticism to come down. It's got to happen. This is a team that last year went to the NFC Championship game. The only different player we have, the only starter who's changed, is Aaron Rodgers in place of Brett Favre. That was the coaches and general managers' decision. So any criticism that comes this year is warranted. Ted Thompson, Mike McCarthy took some very big risks. which looked early in the season, and it's still early in the season, but looked like they were going to pay off. Now it does not look that way to me. Is it just me, or is anybody out there thinking this team is circling the drain? We're only a handful of games into this season, so I don't want to read too much into our current losing streak. But Atlanta, and even the Buccaneers, these are teams that Packer fans expected we would beat at early on in the season, especially looking back to the Vikings game and the way we played them. We expected to beat these teams. We have a tough schedule ahead of us. It makes it look like this is going to be a very difficult season. So I think the coaching staff has done an admirable job in some regards. They look great early in the season. But right now, it looks like Mike McCarthy and our defensive and offensive coordinators are scheming to not lose. They're not scheming to win. They're scheming to not lose because of the injuries, maybe because of the teams they're playing. They think they can play this game of just going out there and trying not to lose, and that they'll come out with a win. This is not the case. We need to get on schedule. We need to out-scheme people and put our limited players in a position to win. So I think McCarthy has just not done a good job, and I'll say it again, maybe I've said this before. If I hear the term pad level as a reason for a loss one more time, I am going to reach through the television screen and strangle Coach McCarthy. And I don't want to say anything bad because I've got a lot of good things to say about him. He's a great organizer, but listen, and I'm not saying that pad level and fundamentals are not fundamental to winning in NFL football, but these guys are professionals. If our coaching staff has not, in the last 3 years, gotten our team beyond fundamentals and pad level, something is wrong with our coaching staff. Get it together. I know they went out and went back to more of a training camp style practice schedule, getting back to the fundamentals. Maybe you need to do that once in a while, but if your team is not out on the field, knowing where their body should be, what their position should be, filling the correct gaps rather than overplaying, it reflects badly on the coaching staff. So I think Mike McCarthy needs to whip our team in shape. He has tried to do so, but trying is not good enough when we're looking at 3 losses and a tough schedule to play. Get them together. Our defensive coordinator, boy, this is becoming really a debacle. We have one of the greatest, skill-wise and player-wise, we have one of the best defenses out there. We are playing like bottom dwellers right now. What happened to these blitzes that we were supposed to have? What happened to amping up, because we've had a coordinator for several years now, and we can have that kind of continuity and trust with the players that we've had. All of these guys have been out there a while. Whether you're out on the field as a starter for the first time or not, none of these guys are brand new to the system except maybe Brandon Chiller, and he was a free agent acquisition, our only free agent acquisition, the only guy we needed to bring in and give better pass protection from a linebacker. Our defensive coordinator has got to scheme our players into position to win these games, not just to not lose these games. And I am going to go into the players as well. You know, I don't want the players have to play the game. I'm not making excuses for the players. But what I am saying is we've got a great defensive team out there. I know we've lost some people, but we can't back off of what we do just because we're afraid to lose. I would rather see young guys in a tough